Hey everyone. What we're going to do today is a finesse style flipping jig. It's going to be in the same style as like a Don Iovino Starburst jig. Uh, I haven't seen them around for a while, but I'm pretty sure they still make them. But anyway, let's get started here. In the vise, we have a 1/4 ounce Sparkie jig with a 2-aught Victory 11786 heavy wire sickle style hook. The color is black, blue, pearl. And I don't know if you can see this or not. Probably not. Like I said, I have terrible skills with my camera and my lighting, but a lot of it is equipment. But well, that's for another discussion. But what this is it's black with like a blue pearlescence. It's really, really nice for these darker patterns. Because that's what this is. This is going to be I call it metallic black blue. Nothing fancy. But anyway, we're going to use a little bit of super glue brush on. And we're going to put it right in that area there that I have cut out to create some extra flare for our skirt material. And I don't want to put a lot of wraps in here because I want to keep the build up at a minimum. Now you can't use like a thinner thread because you really got a wrench on this style of jig. But anyway, it's only 2 colors, real simple. The first color we're going to use is black blue, but it's this material that I was reluctant to get early on, but now I got a bunch of colors and I really like it. And it's this foil color. I don't know why I avoided it so much, but it's black. And I know it's hard to see, but when the light hits this, it'll look plain black, but as soon as the light hits it, it's like it really throws off a tremendous amount of flash for the little bit of blue that's in here. It's pretty nice, to be honest with you. So we're going to use that. And the other color we're going to use is this blue barbed wire with blue glitter. Because we're not going to put any kind of flash in here. So we want to get some off of our skirt material. So I'm going to this is a half tab of this black blue foil. And I'm going to put it at the end of this. Now you got to remember the ends of these are solid. So right where that solid piece ends, we're going to have right at the bend of the hook. I'm just going to make 2 wraps. Boy, is this giving me... I see what happened. Ended up getting in between the strands because it slipped down through just like that. But this time I caught it. 2 wraps. And then we're going to fold it over and line it up with what we have on the bottom here. I want to try to get that as close as I can because when you tie it like this, you don't have a whole lot. If you're doing a bigger jig and you're keeping the pieces instead of folding them over each other, you're keeping them the regular length. What you do in that case is you use more material. But when you're doing these smaller finesse style, I shouldn't say finesse either. I apologize for that. This is more of a compact flipping jig. You know, we're going light, quarter ounce, because this is going to be a shallow water deal. Um, really good jig for like boat docks and pad stems, things of that nature. And I find myself rambling, and I apologize. So we have those two tied in. Now I'm going to take the other half the same way. We're going to put it on this side. I'm trying to do it in a way that you can see. And I'm going to fold it over. And I'm going to pull just a little bit. Good. Now, the same thing on the other side. Another half a tab. And fold it over. And I apologize for this. These aren't as hard as I make them look. I'm trying to do it so my sausage fingers don't get in your way, so you could see a little bit what's going on. And I got one more that'll be on the front. Fold it over. Now this is where it gets a little, it isn't hard. It's just you got to be aware of it. You got to hold on to this because we don't have a big surface area to create a real, to put a few more strands, not strands, but a few more wraps of thread. Because we don't have that much, when we pull down on this, it tends to want to spin. So be aware of that and just hold your bottom there that you can put some pressure on it. Now, just like I said, we're going to use this blue barbed wire, blue glitter. And where I want that is back here. We're going to put it on the top or the bottom, depending on how you look at it. And the reason I say that, it's just like a spinner bait is a perfect example. When you're talking about spinner baits and you say the lead blade, a lot of people will say the lead blade is the one that's on a clevis, and other people will say the lead blade is on the swivel. So the same thing, top, bottom, depending on how you look at the jig. Again, it's not, it's more semantics than anything else. So we have that blue in there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other tab, well, another half tab of this blue glitter barbed wire. I'll put it in over here. And then instead of going right on top of it, I'm just going to go over to here onto this side. And the reason I do that is I'm not going to, it's not adding too many strands on one area. We're trying to keep it relatively even. So we have a good even bulk of the jig. You don't have too many strands on one side and not enough on the other. That keeps it kind of balanced. Now I'm going to take one of these little clips here, and we're going to clip our skirt material, if I get them all. I'm going to do the same thing up here. Doesn't have to be perfect, just to hold it out of the way while I wrench on this. And now we're going to whip finish. Couple more. I like doing this style more so than like a full puffball jig, because when you do that, the full puffball, you can't really get any head cement on there. And I like having a little bit on with these silicone jigs, a little bit heavier jig, because it's going to go in a little bit heavier cover. So I just feel better. It's a personal preference. Like on crappy jigs, you know, I've done them without skirt or without head cement, and it's not a big deal. But these bass jigs that are going like they are going to get tossed in brush piles and stuff, I worry about them a little more. Even though I've never had any come apart, I still feel better having a little bit of head cement on there. So that's pretty much the deal here. We'll take our little clips off. And now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut our bottoms off. I'm going to try to do that all at one swipe. Might not work. No, it's not going to. Too many strands to really hold at one time. And I still got to trim that up. I'll do it when I take it out of the vise. Okay, so far so good. I apologize for this. I'm just making sure I got all the strands here. I got a little bit. One that I missed here, and it's in a bad spot. I got to make sure we got enough length. So far, so good. Now we're going to add our weed guard in here. super glue gel. Weed guard is in. Now for this one, I like using the tiny pocket chunk. That seems to work perfect, even with the bigger hook. And I'll show you here once I get the silicone out of the way. This is black blue. And the way we do it is we thread it on. Yeah, I'm taking a little bit longer, but I want to make sure it looks right. Normally when I'm doing these, I'm flying through it, and then I have time at the end if I have any kind of mistakes, I could sort of fix it, but I want to do this right the first go around, so I'm going to take my time with it, not to mention trying to make it that you could see what's going on. That should be right. And there it is. Now, if you look at it from the top, I don't know if the light's catching that blue foil, but man, it really lights up. But that's what you have. That is our finesse flip. And it's like I said, it's more of like on the same thing as that starburst style jig. It's not quite a full puff ball, but it's similar. But there you have it. Let me know what you think. Give it a shot. Thanks for watching.